Christmas Day. I'm saying Thanksgiving Day. Oh, yeah. Hey, that's awesum.
Say another song.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hi. How did your Thanksgiving go?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I got up late, ate a sandwich, then I went somewhere where I can't talk about it, but I'm doing a podcast there, and then I went home to eat some chicken, not turkey, but chicken, and it's finger licking, and my lovely lady friend is making it now. So that's how it goes.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That's my Thanksgiving, but you know what? I'm happy because it's been a crazy,
Mike's
grueling
Daily
4 days.
Podcast.
Well, except for the first day of the 4 days.
Yeah!
The first day was my birthday, and that was fun. And I enjoyed that, and that involved me going to the beautiful place known as Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. I'm giving them a plug. Now I'm going to give them a slug. They are not cheap. None of the rides are working, but you can see their animals. Oh, I should do a podcast picture with the animals there at the amazing place that I just plugged and slugged. Well, see, they're trying to stay in business. They do got some amazing animals there, and they look like they're being well cared for. And so I guess them charging you helps to allow these animals to continue and their habitats continue. And so I guess that's good. And I had a wonderful time with my lovely lady friend. There were lions there, a bunch of lion cubs that were big. They're like grown. They're about a year old, and they're huge, and they're playing with each other, and that was fun to watch. And dolphins and seals, and we got to feed some seals fish. You just throw the whole fish at their mouth and they eat it. That's crazy. Just and then give me another one, like a dog. Give me another treat.
And here's today's podcast picture.
But I won't show a picture of that. Instead, I'm going to show a picture of Lake Siskiyou. My lovely lady friend went up to Lake Shasta for a quick trip. Drove up Monday, got to hike and sightsee Tuesday, then saw a little bit more Wednesday morning, then headed home. That is tough. Yours truly cannot do that kind of a quick turnaround. The last time I went up there was with Basil the boxer, and that was back in February, and that was a hard trip to do because Basil he couldn't really walk with his front legs anymore, so I had to basically carry him everywhere. But I was able to get him to see snow, to feel snow. He had not experienced snow yet, so Basil I put him on a pile of snow, and he kind of looked at me like, okay, get me off of this thing, and he walked a little bit on the snow, and that was it with the snow. But yeah, so my lovely lady friend went up there. She said Basil's a he, my lovely lady friend is a she. Not to get all binary on you, but that's sort of how it is at this point. But the lovely lady friend said that the snow, which could be a he or a she, I don't know what the snow identifies as gender-wise. I think I got into a bit of this conversation that I don't know how to get out of. Snow! So, don't the indigenous tribes somewhere up north have a zillion different names for snow? I think so. I heard that. So, snow. And notice I say snow, not snow, but snow. Any rate, she says there's a lot of snow up there at the Mount Shasta area. They're in north California. So Lake Siskiyou is right there in that general area, and you can see a picture of what it looks like. This was taken just a few days ago. See it at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Here's what I was thinking. I got woken up at 5:30 this morning, couldn't go back to sleep for another hour or so. And part of that is because I have a tough time putting up a boundary between me and my full-time job. And part of that is because the position I have, let's just say I have to wear a lot of hats, and sometimes I don't get much help. I'm sort of left there to take care of things when no one else will. And, well, I won't go too far into that, but when that happens, yours truly is the only one who can take care of it. So there was something I had to take care of early this morning at 5:30. And then it was tough to, I mean, it wasn't that difficult to do. It took just a few minutes, but it does then start the brain going. And once you've done something work-related and you've broken up your sleep with something work-related, then you have a very difficult time going back to sleep because your brain is now thinking about work things and thinking about problem solving. And so I was problem solving this little bit today. And what do you call a problem like Giuliani? Boy, Giuliani is either your greatest warrior hero or the biggest bane of your existence, or the biggest question mark you've ever had in your life, because you can't quite understand Rudy Giuliani. But he's tenacious. He will go after something and defend something, and he's really good friends with Trump, and he's been employed by Trump to make sure that he wins this election. I don't know if you've checked every possible news agency that's out there. And I guess possibly every possible news agency out there is being controlled by that guy, that Soros guy. Because apparently they're all left-leaning, all of them. And Soros must have so much money paying all the media in the world to believe that Biden has won the presidency. So blame it on Soros, because that's apparently what everyone does that's a right-wing conspiracy theory person. But at any rate, Giuliani is definitely in that field of hate Soros, hate anything he touches, hate anything left-leaning, and is fighting like mad to make sure that Biden loses and that Trump wins the election, and he will not stop. So my head's been spinning around like, how can you, I don't understand conspiracy theories. Even when Hillary said the mass right-wing conspiracy years ago, back when her husband was president, remember that? She would say, she's had a couple of notable things, like the basket full of deplorable quote, and it takes a village, and other things she said that have been coined. But she, almost as many things that have been coined as our current president. But she, as we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, 10. Podcastro Valley 10 today, the last place on earth. My point is, I am glad for Giuliani, and this is why. Let me explain. If it wasn't for Giuliani, all of that angst that a lot of people that are angry that Trump lost, where would it go? Where would that energy be focused? It might be another bunch of big riots like we had earlier this year. It could be a bunch of that and protests. So far, we've had the Million MAGA March thing, and that did have some kind of violence involved, where Black Lives Matter protester assaulted Trump supporters, and there was some violence there. That was, last weekend? And someone was stabbed, and that's no good. But it could be worse. If Giuliani wasn't up there going, let me see, there's a couple of things that I'm wondering about. I got this one guy who said... That doesn't sound like him, does it? I'm working on it. It's what do you call it? A work in progress. So give me a little bit on that. But so I'm wondering if Giuliani, is the little pressure valve that's been released, that's letting some of that steam out. Otherwise, who knows what would happen? Militia. All kinds of crazy, awful things could be happening. So that's all I'm saying. Now, my mom is a huge Trump supporter. I will not let that get in the way of my relationship with her. I love to hear what she has to say. I like to hear her point of view of why she loves Trump so much. And some of it I even agree with. And then do I make my points known? Yes. I'll say, but Mom, what do you think about this? And she'll go, oh, yeah, well, but, you know, this is the type of back and forth we need in this world. But let me tell you what should not be the back and forth in this world. And that is my mom and her good friend Ingrid. Ingrid, yes, we're talking, so a lot of Germans here. Ingrid, definitely a German name, Swedish name, whatever, Swiss name. I've known Ingrid my whole life because she and my mom were roommates, weren't they? No, they weren't roommates. My mom worked for Ingrid's husband. He was a famous cook in LA. I think he worked at the Ambassador Hotel. We're talking eons ago. Charlie was his name. And I don't have any last names. So everyone's innocent. The names are practically protected. Ingrid was a fantastic woman that when I was a kid, she was like another mom. She was awesome. We did all kinds of fun things with Ingrid, my mom and I. We went skiing with her, went to the beach, did all kinds of fun outdoor activities, hikes, went to Fraser Park. It's a beautiful area. Just north of LA. We're talking pine trees, just north of LA. Beautiful area. Okay. Ingrid is so not a Trump fan. She's very left-leaning, which is funny because I don't remember that as a kid. That would have been Jimmy Carter when I was a kid. I don't remember her loving Jimmy Carter, but something about recently in her life, she's gotten very, very left-leaning. My mom's very right-leaning, and now the two cannot, well, this is how my mom approached it. She told me, I called her up because it was Ingrid's birthday, I think today. And so my mom said, I called her up to wish her a happy birthday, even though she didn't wish me a happy birthday. And I called her and I said, Ingrid, how are you? And we had a nice conversation until it turned to politics. And Ingrid brought up politics and started talking about Trump. And then my mom she said, before the conversation, I'm not going to let Ingrid goat me with these dang, anti-Trump things, and I'm just going to end the conversation. So my mom did that. And that's sad. That's a long-term relationship, friendship that gets botched up because of politics. And perhaps today a lot of that happened. Well, no, maybe not, because we didn't meet each other today, did we? We didn't get together. We've been avoiding each other because of the coronavirus. We've been backing off. So maybe there weren't all those nasty family arguments like we have every year. That's one good thing from all of this. But we're outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, 10, the last place on earth. I just want to mention, too, that I will be on the website kkdv.com with my radio show on Sunday from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. So you can check that out. There's a link at the website, MikesDailyPodcast.com. I'm just now noticing that the last podcast picture was over there at Lake Chabot on the Live Oak Trail, and I didn't take this picture either. My lovely lady friend took this picture, and she took today's podcast picture. So a big thank you to my lovely lady friend. Let's see who's outside a cafe anyway. Hello, Michael Mass, it's Madame Rootabega, and yes, politics can tear people apart. Ooh. Yes. It is a thing. It can get in the way. Michael Mass, I will not tell you my political leanings. Oh, well, that's good. I'm going to tell you, I'm just very open-minded. Because I have followed some politicians and thought, I am right. Everybody else is wrong. This is the best politician ever. And then all of a sudden I find out something horrible and stupid, and they voted some way I would never vote, and I just go, what happened? It's very difficult. I would have to say, unless I ever ran for office, then I would actually have, my own way of thinking and politics, and then I would definitely be, but as a layperson out here in the world of podcasting and radio and all of that, I just see it all as, no one's right. Who's right? Every political party has changed their stripes every decade or so. There's what one party believed 10 years ago, they don't believe now, and the other vice versa. Michael Matthew, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, that's good. So we're not having a political conversation. Have you dated a politician? Yes. Did you enjoy your Thanksgiving? Yes. Are you going to go watch a Netflix show with me this evening? No. Oh, man, you should, because I've been watching the IT Crowd lately, and it's been so funny. I just love... It's one of those shows... I guess this happens with some of these shows where it gets better every season because they get the characters more defined and they know what they can and can't do with the characters, and they push them to... It's one of those type of shows. It's British, though. Just so you know. Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike.
Yeah?
Do you know people that like to cause problems by, doing things?
Yeah, doing things. Do you know that? People that cause problems by doing things. That's sort of a very open-ended... that could apply to just about anybody, but yes.
Okay.
You know that? Wow, that was a good conversation. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer. Enjoy the rest of, if you are listening to this Thanksgiving. I am enjoying trying not to think about work. I would hope you don't think about work today either. Just try and create boundaries around you and let those things go away. And enjoy your whatever this is. I guess this year we're just by ourselves, enjoying delicious food that maybe we made, or maybe we got some person from DoorDash to get for us, or Postmates, or what's the other one? Uber Eats. There's a million of these things. They're the ones. Did we check their cars, by the way, when they brought the food to us, that they didn't have coronavirus in their cars? Or did we care about that? That's my question that I probably didn't want answered this Thanksgiving. But thank you for listening to the next show. Or this show. And possibly the next show. But thank you. And and that's good. That's very fitting because today was Thanksgiving. So thank you. Gracias. Dankeschön. And
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.
And that was FF episode 2159-2159-2159. Let me know about what you think about any of the topics we covered today at 336MM Daily. 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM as in Mike Matthews, daily as in what this podcast will try and be for the next several days. And you can also go to MikesDailyPodcast.com.